All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are live. Whew. Another episode of The Blind Spot, where we talk with blind athletes reaching excellence. I am your host, Kyle Coon, USABA Program and Safe Sport Coordinator. Oh my gosh, you guys, what is today's date? Today is August 10th. That means we are 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks away from opening ceremonies at the Paralympic Games, which means, oh my gosh, that means I'm only like 17 days away from actually racing at the Paralympics. That's scary.
That is scary.
And that our goalball athletes
The scary
are
part being the
only
race, because you have to swim a lot. That's the scary part.
touche, my friend, touche. But that means our goalball athletes are only like, guys are only like 15 or 16 days away from competition. But my
Yeah,
goodness
16
gracious,
days.
yeah. So, guys, you're hearing that voice, you're seeing them on camera. I am super excited to chat. This is actually, guys, this is our final. This is the 12th member of our Paralympic goalball squads that we've been talking to everyone over the course of the last 6, 7, 8 weeks, and we finally managed to track down this guy and get on
I was
his
gonna say, I'd
schedule.
like to say you saved the best for last, but it's probably just because I'm bad at responding to Bill's emails.
Not at all, man. Not at all. Not at all. No, guys, I am super excited to introduce you to Matt Simpson. He is this will be what, your second Paralympic Games.
Yeah.
Already got a silver medal around your neck from Rio. Um, Matt, I mean, welcome. I mean, first and foremost, welcome to the show, man. How's it going? Like,
Well,
crazy busy
thank
time.
you. Yeah. Super busy, super exciting. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, and
Yeah.
excited to be with you and chat with everybody.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and let's start right at the top. Give a little bit of background on you. Why don't you tell our audience just a little bit about your eye condition, and how did you start this journey to goalball, and what brought you to the sport of goalball?
Yeah. So I was born with Leber's congenital amaurosis, so genetic retina hereditary condition, kind of a cousin of retinitis pigmentosa. It's probably its more famous cousin. So basically, a childhood version of RP, which is usually a later onset condition. But started playing goalball at the age of 10 at a USABA sports camp, and just loved it. First time I picked up the ball, just knew I wanted to play goalball. Knew I wanted to be a Paralympian. I had enough vision growing up that I could do some sports. I could do swimming and running, and unlike you, I decided I wasn't good at those things, and so I decided, staying on land and minimal cardio effort required was my speed. Just throwing things hard at other people was my preferred outlet in the athletic arena. So just that opportunity first provided by USAPA was so huge, and then went home and told my parents I wanted to be a Paralympian, and they said, cool, and what? And I said, goalball. My dad said, what's goalball? So and then only to find out, of course, there was no team in Atlanta where I'm from.
Yeah.
So we had to start one. And, our first tournament, I was the only person there who'd ever seen a real game of goalball. And I think it was maybe 7th or 8th grade. We went to the youth nationals, the USABA high school youth nationals down in Florida. And I think I weighed about, probably weighed about 55 pounds. So I was not an imposing competitor, to say the least. But
Yeah.
we just kept playing. The team kept getting better, and I kept learning the game. And eventually, we stopped losing every game by 10, and then we stopped losing every game altogether. And eventually, we started winning more and more. And man, it's just been an incredible journey. To get to Rio and to medal was was so huge. And then kind of thought I might be done with international goalball, and as overjoyed and surprised as anyone that I get to kind of come back and give it a second shot. So very excited to head to Tokyo in 7 days.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's coming up fast, but oh man, like let's go back to let's go back to something you said just then. You thought you were done with goalball, internationally, at least after Rio. You had some you made some pretty big life changes between Rio and now. Why don't you tell people about what it is that you decided to do, and what you do for a living now?
Yeah, I knew I loved to play goalball, of course. So after graduating from college in 2012, I did part of your job. I guess you're kind of my successor in many ways, or maybe I'm your predecessor, however that works.
However that works. Yep.
Yeah. And I worked out in Colorado Springs for USABA for about 3.5 years. I was the membership and outreach coordinator. So they changed some assignments and such, but yeah, doing a lot of what you do now. Obviously not quite as well and not looking quite as good while doing it, but
Flatter me.
but I did it nevertheless. And so after Rio, I had always kind of had in the back of my mind that I wanted to go to law school. So I was I kind of took the opportunity the year before Rio. Most of us who went to Rio moved to Fort Wayne, where our National Center of Excellence is now located. And so I got to train full time. I ended my employment full time with USABA, and I moved out to Fort Wayne. And I said, well, at least I can spend some time preparing for the next step. So I spent most of that year studying for the LSAT, the law school admission test, and took it right before we left for Rio. And then I'm not getting choked up, I promise. I'm gonna grab some water.
You're good, man.
But I guess I can keep talking because I have this AirPod in. So anyway, I even as the camera is blank, I decided to go to law school, and was really, really fortunate that I was able to kind of make it work. I started law school in 2017 at the University of Virginia, and fortunately for me, I like to work out. I like to be fit. And so, training, strength and conditioning was kind of my hobby, even as most of my time was spent studying for law school. And the first year of law school is notoriously pretty rough. So I didn't have a lot of free time, but managed to stay in pretty good shape and kind of kept around the team. I would go to training camps here and there, and I would still compete domestically, and had a great time because I love community, I love the organization. I've been involved on the board of USABA, and I've been involved as the athlete rep to the Athletes Advisory Council. So I'm always going to be around the game, and I had a lot of other things going on in the game, but didn't get to train or travel internationally. So a couple of years of law school went by, and I said, all right, this is the third year of law school. It's not so bad. I can kind of throw my hat back in the ring and see where I'm at. So told the coaches that I was interested and available for whatever it was they needed, from water boy to goal dummy to whatever they wanted. And so I was fortunate they asked me to come back and hang out with the team, and got to go to Lima, where we qualified for the games. And then of course 2020 hits and everything's scattered to the wind. So my wife and I said, well, we'll just have a baby. And then I was like, oh, well, I for sure can't go to Tokyo with a baby and starting a new job. But it's been a juggling act for sure. And my wife is an amazing support and the true MVP. So she's been awesome, and she's helped me figure out how to balance it all, some sort of kind of balance it all, if there is balance to be found. But yeah, I'm just very, very excited that the opportunity is still there. And I'm just incredibly excited for this team and what we're going to do in 16 days.
That's so awesome, man. Yeah. So, so you're, you were in Fort Wayne for a while, but like where are you now? Where are you based full time now?
So yeah, I started working at a law firm in Washington D.C. So
Okay.
for better or worse, there's a lot of lawyering to be done in the old swamp. So my wife and I live just outside the city in Alexandria, and
Nice.
my office is in the city. Insofar as I have to have an office right now, which is not really, but it is there.
So, awesome. What kind of law do you
Yeah.
practice?
Well, as a first year associate, you kind of do whatever they tell you. But so I've been doing anything from antitrust to some trial litigation matters, some First Amendment issues, a lot of railroad law, which is kind of a niche
Really?
that I never thought I would be in, but here we are. So kind of across the spectrum. But I think long term, I'd like to kind of focus in on the litigation work that I've been able to do, and kind of continue to hone in on that, and continue the First Amendment stuff on the side as a pro bono practice.
Nice. So
Yeah.
so no jumping up on the stand and walking into the courtroom in fancy red velvet suits like my cousin Vinny at all? None of that in your future?
Not yet, but
Not yet.
that's the dream, right? That's what every litigator wants to do, is be in the courtroom in red velvet suit or otherwise.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I think you could rock one, man. I can't see it. I can't see it all, but I could so see a Matt
I was
Simpson
gonna say
rocking it.
that's a sharp detail. I didn't know that was a feature of my cousin Vinny, and that's the kind of audio description you can only get here on the Blind Spot. You're not getting that on other podcasts.
No, exactly. No, it's oh man, I love it. I love it. That's awesome, man. So I mean, you've been competing internationally for a while. I mean, you got the medal from Rio. And I know that the team has gone through some changes over the last 4 or 5 years or so. What has kind of stood out to you, the differences between preparing for Rio and preparing for Tokyo? Like what differences or changes have you seen, and do you think those are gonna help you this time around?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to compare this year to anything that
For sure.
anybody has ever done, just with the precautions and the limitations. I mean, we've only gotten to see 2 Paralympic teams in a year and a half.
Wow.
We took a trip to Lithuania in May, which I don't know much about triathlon other than having dabbled myself in a couple, but I imagine for you at least kind of know where you're at. Your times, how you're feeling in the pool, how you're feeling on the bike.
Oh yeah.
For us, we have no idea. We've played Belgium and Lithuania. That tournament went pretty well for us, but
yeah,
man, like, what's Brazil been doing? What's Japan been doing? We have no clue what we're about to find out. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just learning. We've done as much review as we can of teams, but they're all in the same boat. So it's given us an opportunity to really just think about ourselves. Talk about Coach Young loves to emphasize controlling what we can control, and that starts with our mindset, with our attitude. The relentlessness, the never give up attitude that we need to bring to be successful. And we have a group of 6 guys that have that in spades, and I'm very excited. The cool thing about this cycle, the resident program's been running full time for almost 5 years now, almost 6 years now. So it's really starting to bear fruit. You've got 4 guys returning to the games from the previous roster. You got 2 new guys, and talk about guys like Callahan and Zach. I mean, Zach was, patient zero of USA Goalball in Fort Wayne. He was never had played the game before he came to an open night practice we had, and picked it up. And I mean, Zach's one of the most athletic people you'll ever meet. So took to the game, and Goalball is an extremely skill and the finesse and the mental side of the game are so critical. And so for Zach to have developed the way that he did in less than 6 years is just amazing. And then you talk about a guy like Callahan, who's always been just had so much ability, so much. I mean, the guy's 6'8", you can do things just, just flicking his wrist. It takes my whole little body, trying all my best to do. And so the way that Callahan has been able to just seeing him in the weight room, seeing his dedication to developing his skills and seeing his development has been extremely cool. So I think that's the biggest thing. It's just the fruits that have been borne by the president program. That's just been really great.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, I mean, obviously the silver medal from Rio, that's a big milestone in your career, but you're now going into Tokyo. You've had a pretty, a solid career. You've got a young family, you got this new career. What does success look like to you these days? And, how, what is your definition of success?
Man, I think the medal from Rio is awesome. You never want to lose the last game, and that was tough. But I don't think that I'm looking at this as gold or bust, because I think that that's not a helpful attitude, I don't think, for us to have.
For sure.
I think it's helpful. It's super helpful for us to be determined to win the gold. But I think it's recognition that the process is so important, and the outcome is a result of that, which is as true of a truism as you'll ever hear. But I'm trying not to speak in cliches, but I think just I think success for us is building that process, and is building something that is going to last. And if we leave with a gold, it's going to be incredible for us, for USA Goalball, for USABA, for this country, and every blind kid that might, every more publicity we get by doing well in Tokyo is a couple more blind kids who might get an opportunity to play because their parents saw something on the news, or because that just secured us a little bit extra, grant funding from somebody who thought that what we did was really cool, or some extra article gets written.
Totally.
I think that's motivation for sure.
Absolutely.
But I think for us right now, success means doing everything along the way. And if we want a gold without doing it the right way, I don't think any of us would want that either. And for me, I think coming back, my Rio experience was good. How could it not be? First Paralympics, winning a silver medal. But I had a frustrating year that year. I tore my bicep, 6 months before the games, and then broke my finger like a month and a half before the games. And I was just, I didn't get to have on the court the games that I wanted to have. And so for me, coming back, doing it with all the other things that I am trying to balance, it's freeing in some ways, because I know, in a way that I didn't in Rio, I know what I have to return to, which is really what's important, being my wife and my daughter and my family, and even a fulfilling career, which is certainly a far second to the family. But it's also super freeing because I get to play goalball just because I want to play goalball, just because I love it, just because I'm so honored to be, just the honor, as of getting to represent the USA. I mean, how many of us get to do that? That's just so cool. So for me, it's kind of freeing, because I don't have any pressure. This is awesome, and this is fun, and I put my heart and soul into it. But at the end of the day, we're not defined by our result, as much as we're going to do everything in our power 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to achieve the right outcome. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I certainly did ramble a lot.
No, dude, you that's perfect, man. That's perfect. Gosh, I have a million questions, and I could go on talking to you forever. But one of the things that we actually do enjoy doing is we since we're on Facebook Live, we like to to throw it to some of our fans, because sometimes they pose some really good questions. So I'm going to toss it over to producer extraordinaire Bill Kellick to get a couple of fan questions that I'm sure we've had coming in. So, Bill, what are the fans asking Matt these days?
Yeah, Matt, we actually have one. It's kind of a two-part question from Ernst. First off, what position do you play on the team? And secondly, what do you see your role as on the men's goalball team?
Good questions, Ernst. The cool thing about our team is that everybody plays every position, and that's not true all the time. We're certainly many of us are better at one than another, but that flexibility and that versatility was kind of born of necessity when we weren't able to train all the time, like most of us are able to do now, where we really had to find any marginal advantage we could. So we learned to play every position really well because other teams were, continue to play very static. They all play one position. And so we said, well, we can find advantages here. If we're all good at every position, we can move around a lot. That'll change up the looks on offense. And it'll also make it really hard on opposing coaches to find weaknesses in our defense if the defense changes every few possessions. So I try to play every position well. I think with old Callahan on the court, that guy can take up like half the court by himself. So I'll just plop down in the center and let him block half the court. And Tyler, old man Tyler Marin can block the other half. But we'll see. I'm prepared to play everywhere, and my role is do whatever I'm told. 0 minutes, 24 minutes. I do like to come in and throw the big bounce balls. So it's kind of been something I've been able to carve out a niche for myself on the team for a while as being successful internationally at throwing bounce balls and using motion on offense, as all of us do to create scoring opportunities. But ultimately our role is whatever the team needs.
Love it. You are definitely you're definitely a team guy. Have you always been been that way, or were there was there obviously all of us in our younger days, we had these moments where we're like, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and it's all about me. But did you have like an Olympic or Paralympic role model, or someone that kind of took you aside, had to give you the old slap upside the head and be like, man, come on, let's
I think
let's learn a little bit.
Who of us wouldn't be who we are without some slaps on the head, right? But
yep.
I've been fortunate to be on this team for almost over a decade with Tyler Marin, and he's just a great role model for all of us. And even John Kusku, who, one of my first opportunities learning the game of goalball was up at a Michigan sports camp where I was like 10 or 12 years old. And wow. Kusku and Tyler were teaching me how to play, and now they have to put up with me on their team, which, kind of same experience. I remember teaching, playing with Callahan when he was in, middle school or whatever, and now he's my teammate. So it's the generations continue to cycle on. But I was very fortunate that when I was in high school, 2004, 2008 Paralympian Eddie Monroe moved out to Atlanta and took me under his wing and joined our team. And that was just, a really formative experience for me, having Eddie's mentorship and guidance in the game. And, so many people like that though in this game. It's a small community, so we all have to really take care of each other and teach each other along the way.
So awesome. All right, Matt, we're gonna I know you're on I know you're a busy man, you got a tight schedule, so we're gonna jump into some just some fun, fast lightning round things, just a few fun questions, entertain us a little bit. Cool. So first of all, we do have to know what is your goalball number so that we can keep track of you.
I am number 7, so
look
7. Out for number 7. Yeah.
I mean, that is a real, I think number 7's a really good number. I mean, there's a reason it's in all the Harry Potter books, right?
Well, that's true. That's true. Originally I was a big Michael Vick fan, but that didn't go so well. So I guess I need to
Okay.
find a different justification for having number 7.
Well,
Don't
I
tell the
mean,
guide dogs for the blind that I'm a Michael Vick fan. Yeah.
oh yeah, seriously. No, I mean, hey, I mean, Vic at
That was a
Virginia,
joke.
Vic at Virginia Tech though, man. That number 7, he could run around though.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
I think that's a good justification. I think it's a good justification.
Yeah. He had some good
All right,
early
man.
years in Atlanta. So
For sure. All right, man. So we know that you guys have been, you guys are super diligent about your training. You're super diligent about your nutrition and all that. But I mean, come on, man. We've all got a vice. So when the U.S. men's goalball team pulls down that gold medal or what, wherever you guys finish up, what's Matt Simpson's favorite post-match treat where you're just like, I don't care anymore, I'm indulging?
it's a good question. I would be lying if I didn't say that a good stiff old fashioned with some nice Kentucky bourbon isn't a favorite. But for the youth audience, that's obviously not true. Don't do that. So but man, I am definitely a sucker for some delicious sweet baked goods, some donuts. Man, I'm probably gonna be wrecking the dessert bar at the Village after we're done.
Nice, awesome. I love it. I love a good old fashioned too, man. You're making my mouth water. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Do you have a favorite music genre or band or group that you listen to?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been getting really into bluegrass recently. I've been enjoying that.
Bluegrass.
It's a good, I feel like there's some culture and history there. There's some it's a little bit more musical. I feel like country music's kind of getting off the rails a little bit. So I've been getting into the bluegrass. I like that a lot.
All right. I like it, man. I like it. Love me some bluegrass.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Coffee or tea?
Oh man, coffee, man. Oh, got a lot.
You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. Of course you gotta go coffee, right? How do you take it?
My phone is currently resting on my coffee cup of my fourth cup of the day. So
there you go. How do you take it?
Oh, just black and as strong as you can get it.
Nice. That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it. Chocolate or vanilla?
That's a good question. I was one of those kids who I only ate vanilla ice cream for like probably 15 years. And,
Really?
Everybody made fun of me that was the most bland thing ever. But then one day I read that people who prefer vanilla are actually the most adventurous. So sticking to that. So I continue to be a vanilla man. I've certainly branched out and I certainly enjoy any number of flavors, but there's nothing that beats a finely crafted vanilla.
For sure, man. For sure. I mean, are you a stay up late kind of person, or do you prefer to get up early?
Oh, man, that's the eternal battle. I like to be up early. I like being up early. I don't necessarily like getting up early.
That is a good distinction.
Yeah. Man, it's been really tough. Just everything going on. Getting my training done early, it seems like the only way I can be sure it gets done because work oftentimes has no bounds, and my priority is always to spend time with my family and my daughter and my wife. So getting the training done early and getting up early and having it done, that's the best. But it's certainly tough when sometimes the work runs into the wee hours, so schedules are hard to deal with. But
for sure. So when you're not lawyering up and I should say when you're not doing your lawyer thing or you're not playing goalball, what do you have a favorite activity or something that kind of switches your mind off from work and sport? Like what do you like to do in your downtime to relax?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of weird because going to the gym and getting to, getting trained, that is relaxing for sure.
Yeah.
Like when I've had a stressful day, getting a lift in is for sure a good way to go. But, I love to read. I always, set my Goodreads goal at the beginning of the year to read, however many number of books. This year's been pretty tough. Newborn, Goalball, new job.
Yep.
So my book count is pretty woeful this year, but I love to read, and audiobooks are great. Even if I cleaning the kitchen, I got an audiobook on. Even sometimes when it's a lighter day at the gym, reading a book while I work out. So
okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any good any good reads that you recommend?
I just finished for an older classic, some Walker Percy, as I finished Love in the Ruins. Very good kind of take on the political commentary / dystopian kind of novel, but it was very good. I just read that, so highly recommend that. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll need to check that one out. All
yeah.
right. I'm always looking for good books to read. So
Nice.
Awesome, man. I've been having actually a lot of fun with this question with our last few guests. You're gonna play in a celebrity goalball game, and you can choose. It's you on the team, and you get to choose 2 celebrities to.
Oh wow!
To play with you. Who you picking?
Man, are my goalball teammates, do they qualify as celebrities?
Apart from your goalball teammates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Tyler's kind of a celebrity. Callahan's definitely a celebrity. Couscous undoubtedly a celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely on their way to be.
Yeah. All right. Let me think about this. I'm a big Braves baseball fan, so I'll take Freddie Freeman, first baseman for the Braves. Can't go wrong there.
Love it.
And I feel like for the publicity, I would want LeBron, but I don't know. That might be a lot to handle. That Space Jam and all that. I don't know if his heart would be in it. So I'm gonna go with Kevin Durant, coming off of his fresh glory at the Olympics. That seems like a good compromise.
I like that. Hey, either KD or King James, man. They
can't go wrong there.
Can't go wrong. I don't think you can go wrong either way. But I love the Freddie Freeman pick, man. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that's a deep cut for sure.
Get that good first base defense over there.
Yeah, exactly. It's not dissimilar playing first base and playing goalball. Plop him over there on the right wing. He'd hold it down.
Yeah, I like it. I like the way you think, man. I like the way you think. All right, Matt. We're gonna start wrapping it up here. But I just want to give you a quick chance. If there's any special shout outs, to whether to organizations that have supported you over the years, or specific individuals. Just want to give you the opportunity to give 2 or 3 shout outs to some of your big supporters, and let us also know how we can follow you on the social media channels.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, this all is, my wife is amazing in supporting me, and I'm super grateful for that. My parents, my dad continues to be a big supporter in the game, and nobody loves goalball more than Hal Simpson. So would not be here but for him. So always eternally grateful to him for that. And his organization, Georgia Blind Sports, continues to do great work in a myriad of sports down in Georgia. So really cool that he's continued the mission there, even as I've moved up north a little bit. And I think the last thing I would say is, getting to sit in your chair, working for the organization as I did, and now getting to be on the board of USABA. Just for any parents out there who are listening who have a blind kid, get your kid in sports. They don't have to want to be a Paralympian. They don't have to want to train every day to be the best in the world. They might just want to go play a game sometimes. But get your kid active. Get your kid doing something. Get your kid on a playing field where he can learn the invaluable lessons of sport competition. So that is my biggest plug.
Love it, man. Are you on social media at all? Like,
Oh
is there
yeah,
a
for
way?
sure.
Can we follow you? Like, let people know how we
Oh
can.
yeah.
Because you got some Matt Simpson fans out there now, so
Oh,
they want to follow you.
I appreciate. Yeah, I'm very grateful. Simpson_Matt is the Twitter. I've been holding out on the Instagram front. I just started one mostly because Bill told me he'd get me verified. So, thanks, Bill. Probably start doing some like underwear modeling or something on there. I'm not sure. We'll
Hey.
see what opportunities come my way. Just kidding. That was a joke. I think my Instagram is Matthew Simpson 77, but it might be Matt Simpson 77. So look me up on Instagram and Twitter. I'm pretty active at Simpson_Matt.
Awesome. All right, Matt. And then I got one final question. It's one that I pose to all of my guests at the very end. And that is, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, I think, I've been really fortunate to get to be involved in this game and this organization from kind of every angle possible. Staff of the organization, team member, athlete rep to the Athletes Advisory Council. I get to sit on the Paralympic Advisory Council. Those things of, I want to be remembered as moving the game forward, moving Paralympics forward, and ultimately helping people with disabilities discover their potential and their value and their worth in this world. And sports, to me, is the best way that we can do that. And so that's how I want to be remembered. Is on the court, it's been awesome. It's been great. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But why do we do what we do? One, because we get to represent our country and we get to try to be the best in the world. But two, because this is the great split of the Paralympics, the great double whammy of the Paralympics. We get to hear our anthem played, we get to wear the flag, we get to do our thing, but we also get to show the world what it means to be disabled and what that really means for someone's life. So for people who are able-bodied and for people who are disabled, it's a real privilege and honor to get to kind of be a part of that.
Love it, man. Man. All right, you guys, you heard it here from Matt Simpson. I mean, dude, it's been a blast. I've really enjoyed
yeah, man,
getting to talk to you. I mean, we could go on all day, man. I could we're gonna have to have you back on because there's still so many things that we gotta dive into, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
Good luck to you, and I hope I get to run into you in the village. But good luck with the race. And
seriously, man. I seriously hope we get to run into each other in the village at some point. So that'll be
post competition.
Awesome.
Old fashioned will be in order.
Oh, 100%, man. I will have to. We'll have to make that happen.
Excellent.
All right, you guys. We have come to the end of another Blind Spot. We've been talking with Matt Simpson. You could definitely tell he is a blind athlete that has reached excellence, but man, he has continued to reach excellence in so many ways, from athletics to the employment world, to, being a lawyer, to being a phenomenal husband and dad. Oh my gosh, man, I can't wait to see where you go from here. And guys, just a couple of little housekeeping items. Remember to stay tuned to the USABA Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of the social media pages. Make sure to give Matt a follow on on all the social media channels as well, Twitter and Instagram. We'll have Bill drop Matt's handles in there as well. Again, I think it was Simpson_Matt on Twitter, and then we'll verify that Instagram, but we think it's either Matt Simpson 77 or Matthew Simpson 77. One of those. We'll get that verified.
Yeah, one of the two.
One of the two. We'll get it. We'll get that verified. And guys, as always, thank you all so much for tuning into the Blind Spot. We've had a blast. This will be our final Blind Spot until after the Paralympics. I'm getting ready to roll out here in a couple of days. Matt and the rest of our men's and women's goalball teams, they're getting ready to roll out here in the next week or so. So it's going to be pretty crazy here for the next couple weeks, but we will let you guys know as soon as we have another guest lined up. for post Paralympics. But we are so excited. So like I said, keep an eye on the social media with our 45th anniversary of USABA, with our 100 Days to Tokyo campaign going on. We've got so much stuff going on. We've got National Blind Sports Day coming up in October. We've got the California International Marathon coming up in December. Oh my gosh, guys, just so much going on. So Bill also drop a link to sign up for our newsletter in the comments there as well, so that you guys can just stay plugged in with what we're doing and what's going on. But once again, thanks to our guest, Matt Simpson, silver medalist, second time going to the Paralympics. I think our men's and women's goalball teams are going to have a great amount of success in Tokyo. So Matt, thanks again, man. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kyle.
All right, you guys, we're going to sign off. We will see you after Tokyo.